Happy Friday, y'all. I want to walk you through our responsibilities that we need to have completed by Sunday at midnight. So let me just briefly explain each of these items. So the first tab here is the prompt for Major Essay Project 1. So my hope is that you've already read the prompt. That's my hope. But here it is. I have included the link to the Google Doc, so if you'd prefer to view the prompt in Google Docs, you can go ahead and do so by clicking on that link. The next tab is I've included 2 explanation videos where I read through the prompt and I explain and clarify the different challenges, expectations, and whatnot. So if we were in a traditional face-to-face classroom, I would hand you all the prompt and we would read through it together, and I would explain things as we went through and address questions as they arose. But since we're not in the face-to-face environment, this is the next best thing. So please make sure that you watch each video in its entirety to make sure that you are fully understanding this project. That's really important. The third tab is a brainstorming activity to help us generate ideas for draft 1 of this essay project. So it's really important that you take care of this sooner rather than later, because that's ultimately going to give you the ideas, some things to work with for the draft itself. Now, if we were in a face-to-face classroom, this is something that we would do in class. I would project the prompt on the screen. We would spend 15 minutes or so writing in our notebooks, and then you would go home and work on the draft itself. But because, again, we're online, this is the next best thing. So it's really important that you set yourself up for success. Again, make sure that you do this sooner rather than later so that you, 1, are getting it done, but 2, it's ultimately going to give you those ideas that you can work with for draft 1. And then so once you've completed this, so follow the prompt. These are the questions here that I want you to respond to. Really try to be as specific as you can, because that's really going to give you the ideas to work with that will ultimately benefit you. You'll submit the assignment just as you have been doing with the reading response questions, etc. Now the final tab here is where you're going to submit the draft itself. So let me just briefly walk you through this. So well, it's saying this because it's in student view. Don't disregard this. It shouldn't look like this for you guys. But you're going to submit the draft. There should be a little tab that says submit assignment. So, but we want to make sure that the draft is 2 full pages in length. Okay, so make sure that it is at least 2 full pages. That's really important. And again, be sure to read the prompt for Major Essay Project 1 carefully before you submit your draft, just to make sure that you're addressing the concerns of the prompt. It's good to make sure that you're trying to strive to incorporate as much as you can in the first draft early on, so that by the second draft you have some things to work with. And then, of course, for the polished draft, you've kind of done a lot of the work ahead of time. For this draft, make sure that you use paragraphs to separate your ideas. Please don't send me a big wall of words, okay? So it should be distinct separate paragraphs. Make sure that you're using paragraphs, and it needs to be a minimum of 2 full pages in length. And that's double spaced, of course, but if it's not 2 full pages double spaced, you're gonna need to revise and resubmit it. Okay, so make sure that you're taking care of that ahead of time so that you don't need to submit draft 1 again, and then you have to do draft 2 and then polish draft, right? So again, set yourself up for success. I can't stress that enough. All right. So those are our key responsibilities. We need to have those completed by Sunday, by midnight. You're submitting these things through Canvas. I'm going to strongly recommend you don't wait till Sunday night to do all this stuff. I've been looking at your guys' login times. Some of you are logging in at 4, 5 in the morning. I don't think it's because you're getting up early. I think it's because you're staying up late. Yikes. So anyway, spread the work out, y'all. Slow roast those turkeys. A little bit of work each day goes a lot longer, or a lot farther rather, than saving it all to the last minute. So, okay, y'all. If you have any questions, you can message me on Canvas. Toodaloo.